so glad you guys are here. We are on the birthday bash trip. That's why I have a little bit different background. I want to take you back to a time that I really didn't think we were going to make it to 18. And I am so excited that you are here. Now, I don't have all the answers, but I do know the one who does, higher power. And I want you to know you are called for such a time as this. I know it's the middle of summer, and I have not been very present because I have gotten some really misleading information. I mean, crazy misleading information about my son turning 18. I cannot believe I'm even saying those words, guys. And it is so important that we realize we are stronger together. I took people at face value, people who were considered experts, and it just didn't work. So now we are at a 5-star hotel. We have rented a private cabana at the rooftop hotel tomorrow, and we have some safe friends that are coming to join us. We're keeping it small on purpose, and we are knowing that we are called for such a time as this. Let us know. Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, let us know that we are chiming in. This is the special Thursday podcast episode, and that we are making sure that we are staying connected no matter what. And let me tell you,
Hello?
Hey T, we're live and you're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Can you hop on?
Oh, shoot. I didn't. 2:30. Okay.
Groovy. Bye. And so we just let our ride or dies know that we are on a different night because this week has been one thing after another after another. Now, one of the things that I want you to know, I don't have all the answers, but I do know the one who does, and that's higher power. And I have gotten some really serious disinformation in the last 15 years since we've been doing this Warrior Mom journey. In the last 15 years, I'll be full transparency. We have walked through hell. Now we walk out of there like we own the place and take water back to those still in the fire. Whether you're recently diagnosed or you've been at this a while and you're just feeling defeated. And I just know that I know that I know together we really are stronger. So in the last year, thanks to one of my son's favorite teachers named Miss Amanda, she grew up with a sibling that was developmentally challenged due to a childhood incident, not the way she was born or a vaccine injury, but from a near drowning incident. And I am so blessed to know her because she has transformed my son's life. And because of her and her absolute rock star insight, she won Best Occupational Therapist in the entire state of Oklahoma. Whew, shout out. And she is one of my son's favorite teachers. And because of her and her peer groups that she develops in her occupational therapy practice with the school, my son has started asking for safe friends. So that's our sign for tonight. So just like baseball, safe friends. And I just love that we really are stronger together. And you guys, I can't believe I'm still alive after these past 7 days. We had an attorney lined up to help my son set us up for guardianship because he is diagnosed officially autism spectrum disorder, level 3 nonverbal, theoretically lifelong care. And that is not an easy thing to say out loud. We are diagnosed. We do not have a disorder. In our house, we are diagnosed with XYZ. We are not saying, oh, this is my limitation and this is my disability, and we're going to use this as an excuse to not do what we're called to do. No. And hey guys, great to see you. Let us know in the chat where you're chiming in from. If you threw a dart at the U.S., and I'm sorry, yeah, it's been like 100,000 degrees here. I think we had a heat index of 123 this week. And I have been listening to the wrong people. And full transparency, I didn't know that. Well respected, everybody says they know what's going on for special needs children. But if you've been online for 5 minutes recently, you've seen Mama Bear legal forms. Once your child turns 18 and leaves for college, you don't get to be involved in anything medical, educational. It's called FERPA, and medical is called HIPAA. That's the Privacy Act. And what was the other one? Financial. So when your child has a unique ability, we call them super kids, that's really important. And we had been talking with an attorney. Now, this is I'm just pulling back the curtain and letting you see the truth. I have not been able to enjoy the thought of my son turning 18 in the last month because there's so many things I need to do. And we had an attorney we thought was lined up in a different county than we are. And can you see these cool curtains? I'm telling you, this hotel is bougie. And my son is he loves to travel. This morning when he knew we were going on his birthday bash adventure, he was ready to leave the house an hour early. And so we had no fault to this attorney. Now, I don't want you guys, finding out who this is and going, the Warrior Mom's talking smack. No, she is older, and she has decided to not practice in our county because it's a couple of hours away. Well, another parent had used her and known her all her life, and they had gone to college together, and that's why we had hired her. And, when you do this 10 days before someone turns 18, this Warrior Mom was a 40-foot grizzly bear, and I am not exaggerating. If I had found a way to reach through the phone and snap her neck, I probably would have. In theory, just kidding, all you crazy people out there. And, no one, if you have not walked this road, I don't expect you to get it. We call you guys muggles, tongue in cheek. If you have neurotypical children and you've never had to deal with such a thing, or you're an older boomer and you just don't have a clue what the parents are going through, you're SOL, because we're not inviting you to the celebration, even if you're family, because we are inviting the people to the celebration that have helped us along our journey and helped us walk out of those fires of hell and take water back to the people still in the fire. And I am so excited to be here, and my son is beside himself. He is, he's 6'1", so he's huge. And today, just so you know, he signed his first grown-up notarized contracts, and there were 5 of them. And this mama's heart was so proud. This is not something people talk about. Now, back in the 20th century, no one seemed to care. I mean, when I was, in my 20s, my parents were still involved with, everything I did. But now in the 21st, well into the 21st century, this is a big deal. Because if something should happen, God forbid, if something should happen, then I don't have a say. So now Mama Bear, the Warrior Mom, is now his acting agent with durable power of attorney, financial power of attorney, HIPAA, medical power of attorney, and FERPA, which is educational power of attorney. Now, why is this important? I don't like this. I'm a lover by nature. You mess with my kid, you better run. And hear me, warriors. I say this with love and grit. You mess with my kid, you better freaking run, because I am done playing nice. This world is not set up for our super kids. And because I am called the Warrior Mom, I didn't choose this. I'm a lover by nature. I just want to, let's meditate and do yoga and write songs and look at the butterflies and listen to the birds. But life requires us to step into our calling, to walk in purpose as champion our calling. And I want you to know, no matter what someone, hear me, warriors, 10 years ago, we listened to the wrong person in his junior high curriculum IEP, and we did not apply for all of these federal waivers and assistance and the opportunities to do things without paying. That's probably one of my only regrets, because I was raised that people in authority knew what they were talking about. I was one of those, honor roll kids that did cheer and music and, the field trips and the student council. But, today this is not the same. There are so many resources and we are being misled. The misinformation isn't always malicious, but I'm in a dozen moms groups, and there is so much misinformation. It's tragic. So in the last 10 days, hear me. Come on. Come for this journey, and let us know in the chat, in the comments, where you're chiming in from. If you threw $1 at the U.S., I'm right in the middle, Oklahoma, and my son is so cute because of his favorite teacher. She has said, friends, fun, activate, adventure. You can probably hear him stimming in the shower because he just loves being on the road. It's so cute. And this hotel is swank. It is so much smaller than what we did at 4th of July. It's a few blocks away. However, oh my gosh, different stratosphere. I mean, these people have been so respectful and so kind and so accommodating to a super kid and his therapy dog. Now, in the last 10 days, I haven't gotten a lot of sleep because I knew that his 18th birthday meant that I didn't have any access to his educational records, his financials, his medical, or have durable power of attorney. And when this attorney said, I'm not practicing in your county anymore, I'm like, you could have let us know this 2 weeks ago. But it was like 10 or 12 days before his 18th birthday. I'm not kidding. If I had high blood pressure, I would have stroked out. Because when we are dealing with super kids or special needs kids, you guys, the law is not in our favor unless we know how to work the system. In addition to all of this stress, we have had our 10-year-old therapy dog. She's 10 pounds soaking wet. We have taken her to a number of locations, really high-end locations, that had no freaking clue the federal mandates for certified therapy dogs. She's adequately marked. She has her own service dog vest. She is well certified. We have all the paperwork, but here's the catch. The law doesn't allow you as an establishment owner to ask us for that. You have 2 legal questions you can ask. What is the purpose of your therapy dog, and how does your therapy dog help your child? Now, again, let us know in the comments where you're chiming in from. I believe that we are stronger together, and I am done getting triggered by all of this or gaslit because people are ignorant of the law. Now, in the last 10 days, we have called the authorities on 2 different establishments. I know, not a popular opinion, and my extended family would probably roll over in their grave. However, we will do things for our children we will not do for ourselves. And first one was, now hear my heart. I want you to know this so you can share it with other super kid families. We went to one of the, top 10 botanical gardens in the U.S. And we had an older woman who was a groundskeeper absolutely come up to us and accost us and say, this is a place for children, and you don't have a poop bag, and your dog is not allowed here, when the dog was clearly marked as a service dog and adequately certified. And my son, who is 6'1", with his big ear defenders on, is almost in tears. And I said, buddy, she just doesn't know the law. Let mom talk with her, and you go swing. And I was probably 5 feet away. And he did, and he had a good time. And I just told her, ma'am, this is a service dog, and federal law explains that you are not allowed to say those things, and the only 2 questions you can ask. And I went on to explain to her. Well, she didn't really get it. So I went to her boss's boss's boss, because I'm the warrior mom, and I let them know. And this week we finally had a great from the lead person at this establishment saying, we will address this because we're not here to blame or shame or get someone fired. We're here to educate and create awareness so that no other special needs family needs to feel like they're being misled or shamed or blamed because they have a service dog or their child doesn't look like a neurotypical child that would be at that establishment. It was severe. I have never experienced that level of venom in my life. Now, keep in mind, this is in the last 10 days. Just 2 days ago, we went to another establishment that was a restaurant, and we were told by this older boomer woman, not that there's anything wrong with that, but hey, educate yourself and know the freaking law. Hear me, warriors. Educate yourself and know the freaking law before you open your mouth. Pure venom. I have called the owner. We do not allow pets in here. I said, well, she's a certified 10-year service dog for my son who's diagnosed autism spectrum disorder level 3 nonverbal sitting at that table. Well, you didn't have her here last time. I said, well, she was at the vet last time, and this is federal law. Please have your owner contact me. Here's my number. It was just pure venom. Pure venom. And if you own an establishment and you see someone come in with just a pet and they're acting crazy and they're trying to get into the kitchen, completely different story. If you see someone that has a marked, vested dog that's well behaved, not on the table, not eating from the table, not acting a fool, and there's an obvious, hear my heart, warriors, obvious disability, pay attention because you could lose your business. This is a federal law. She probably broke 6 or 7 federal laws by talking to me in that manner. So did the other woman. And so what we did is we went to the governing authority for that county and let them know, hey, this is what happened. We're not looking to get anyone fired. We're not looking to blame or shame, but we are here to educate and create awareness because we don't want any other special needs family to feel shamed or blamed because they need these supports. And every authority we talked to was helpful. And these are things that no one else really deals with, especially neurotypical families. And it is so important that we realize together we really are stronger. And I am not kidding. Yes, T, we ride at dawn because it's really important that we create that awareness and we lead people to the right strategies. You can go to your state's and your county's health department and you can see who the governing entity is for that specific county and that specific need. Now, one was a botanical garden, so I just went straight to their executive director's phone number. And I said, hey, if you need some street cred or you just want to know that I know what I'm talking about, please check out my socials because this is what I talk about every single day of the week. And I am here to say, this is, seriously, I would rather just meditate and drink green tea and listen to the waves and lay on the beach than to do what I'm doing now because I am called for such a time as this. And I know that higher power rewards me and blesses me for that. Now, we are doing a really big, thank you guys. Miss Miranda from Oklahoma, thank you. People need to mind their own business. They sure do, but I think it's lack of knowledge. And I am all about let's educate people. Because some people will bring their pet into a business and it is out of control. Even, hear my heart, even obviously disabled people have dogs that they call service dogs, but they're not certified or vested. They don't have the markings, they don't have the behavior, and they're yapping like crazy and they're nipping at kids. No. Our certified therapy dog shows service dog on one side and do not pet on the other because we had children just running up and trying to pet her. And that's against the law. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you for the instruction. It sounds overwhelming to figure. Yes. Oh, thank you, Rosie. Yes. You know what's so funny is no one's telling warrior moms the truth. And that's my mission. I have such a burning desire. If 10 years ago someone had said, hey, you can get this federal support or this state support regardless of your income, I would have been digging into that paperwork 10 or 12 years ago. But we were receiving misinformation all along the way. Now, our state, not the greatest. They used to have a 13-year wait list. We waited 13 months, and I finally had that 2-hour interview this week so that my son could, as of tomorrow at 18, be on Medicaid, Medicare, and a waiver from the federal government. Now, his therapies are about 10 times as much as I made in my first corporate job out of college. It is not a joke. We are not looking for a handout, we're looking for a hand up. And he is so excited at the prospect, now that he's turning 18, that he can have a job with an employer that hires special needs young adults. And he is so excited. There are no words. I mean, this guy is just like, this is what I've been waiting for. I know. And you guys, I was serious. I mean, today he did not like this 5-star hotel because he could not work the luggage cart because we were paying someone else to do it. And I just looked at him and I go, if this dog wasn't here, anchoring him and keeping him from burning down this, beautiful 10-story, 5-star hotel, I mean, we would be in trouble. And it's so important that we understand that we just educate people all along the way, whether it's the people at the valet parking or the bellhop that's bringing your luggage and you offer them a cash gratuity. I'm teaching him along the way that this is kind of how this hotel works. Now, he hasn't decided that he likes it. We've only been here a few hours because our big private cabana pool top party is tomorrow. And I just think it's so important that we're celebrating our children regardless of their understanding. Oh, hear me, warriors. That'll preach. Hear me, warriors. We celebrate our children regardless of how we think they're understanding the moment or the celebration. And he is so excited. And seriously, we've had the best time just in the last few hours since we arrived. And because we have asthma and allergies, we did need to wait. Yeah, we did need to wait for an allergen-friendly room. We have a specific breed of autism therapy dog that doesn't shed and has very low hypoallergenic is how they market that. And I don't always understand all of that until I'm living it. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you, Miss Amanda. Miss Amanda, you are so great. I sent her a picture today of my son signing his first grown-up notarized contracts. And, I mean, when this attorney quit at the last minute, thank goodness we had not paid a retainer yet. When this attorney quit, and I understand people have emergencies, they have health issues. I get that. But don't leave us in a bind 12 days before his 18th birthday. I just reached out to one of my ride or die friends and I said, since you know everyone in the metro of 2 billion people, here's the deal. The attorney closed her practice. She doesn't practice in our county anymore. We need guardianship. In the meantime, do you know anyone who would notarize these Mama Bear legal forms? And guys, if you know anyone going through this, please turn them on to Mama Bear legal forms. Reach out to me. I have a code. You will get a discount. And I am just so blessed that I was able to fill this out while my son was at an event last night. And I had all the forms filled out. We walked in 10 minutes, we were done. And I got pictures, watch my socials, of him signing his, he had to sign 5 different pages. And it was so cute. It was so cute because now we know we're covered should anything, God forbid, happen. And we know that if, for some weird reason he wins the lottery, even though he doesn't play the lottery, we know that he has someone who has his best interests at heart to navigate that for him. Or if he's, has a medical event, I know that I'm the first line of defense because we will do for our children what we will never do for ourselves. And this goes for caregiving too. So Mama Bear Legal Forms isn't just for moms. So I want to encourage you. You have a senior adult that you're caring for, and you need to have, all that power of attorney and all of the HIPAA, access and all these things to the medical records. That I want you to use my code and go there. This is not paid. This is paying it forward. Hear my heart, warriors. This is not paid. This is paying it forward because I want you to have these forms so that you can go to a notary that says, oh, okay, if it's too stressful for them to sign that right now, I'll go ahead and do this. And it's really important because this is why I haven't been able to sleep, because I've been waking up at 2, 3, 4. And I love that God gets our attention in weird ways. And things have been so busy and so demanding and so intense that I just said, how can I enjoy his birthday? And this was the box I needed to check. So I stayed up late last night, got all the forms ready because you need to do it in the presence of a notary. So don't fill them out early. And then you print off the forms. It was probably 33 pages. And then there were 5 pages that needed to be notarized. And you take them to your notary and you have them date and sign it. And then your subject, whether that's an elderly parent or grandparent or a disabled child, and you can have them sign it in front of them. Now, my son, schools don't really teach cursive, so his signature is not very a signature because, and God bless her. You guys send some favor and blessings to Miss Anita. She did not charge us a dime. I've been skipping lattes. I've been saving and saving and saving because I knew that we needed the guardianship attorney, and that retainer is not cheap. And for right now, this works for the interim. Is this a long-term solution? No. Is it peace of mind? Absolutely. For less than $100 for all the forms. And with this discount code, it's even less. And I love that I have been very diligent in canceling subscriptions. And I also got a few refunds. So it was basically free because I had a PayPal balance. So please let me know if you need any help. I will be happy, no charge, to walk you through this because, our identity is rooted. When our identity is rooted, we don't have to freak out or wait for someone else that we expect to handle this to handle it. No, it was just me. And just because a warrior mom has a co-parent doesn't mean they have help. Oh, hear me, warriors. Just because a warrior mom has a co-parent doesn't mean they have help. We have different giftings. This has been my absolute conviction in the last 90 days. So I have been setting my son up for success. Okay, I'm going to close on a positive note here. We just found out yesterday that my son can do all his senior activities. Even though he's on an OAP, an alternative diploma program, he gets to stay a few extra years, but he gets to do all the stuff. If he wants to go on the senior trip or the senior field trips or the actual graduation, he gets to do all of that. So, Mama Bear here is working out a photo shoot for senior pictures and making sure that he has the skills to go into his next chapter of life. And he is so thrilled about tomorrow. I'm just like, buddy, you are a grown-up. Way to go. And of course I took pictures. So watch my socials. And it was pretty amazing. I felt like the angels were singing the Hallelujah chorus. So please understand, this is not about me. Even though Mama Bear is learning to lean in and trust higher power and let go, this is about how do I set my son up for success when no one in my family is helping me do that. Not because they're being mean, because they just don't have a clue. And the people that encouraged me to have a child later in life are absolutely out of the picture now. And that's just seasons. And I see you. I see you, warrior. You are not alone. And I'm not trying to be negative. I'm saying, hey, we're all in different seasons. We all have different things that we are doing, and we are all learning to be 1% better every single day. Hey, I'm Bren Harris, the Warrior Mom, your source for truth, transparency, and trust. Warriors, unite.